Guys, how are we doing? We've got a very cool value-driven video today. You can see the store right here in front of me did $10,000 in sales yesterday. The next payout, we're currently scaling this. You can see the next payout is 35K. So this will be a really cool case study. Going to go over everything that has helped this store. It has came a long way. It wasn't always scaling like this. So going to go over things we implemented and do a full case study and also give you a bunch of value of things that literally got this store where it is. So this is pretty cool. Let's just dive right into it, right? So you can see yesterday, pretty good. Black Friday hit this is like an AUD. So Black Friday hit like a 12K day, and it's trending upwards big time. But this store wasn't always like that. If we go to October, this was literally floating and hitting maybe like $100 days max. You can see usually like $40 a day. So what's the background on this store? So this is actually one of my one-on-one guys, Tim. Shout out to Tim. He's been working with me for literally years. And this was just a store that was just kind of sitting. Like he had tested the product and he's like, hey, I'm getting a sale here and there. Like, should we check in on this store? This wasn't his only store. So we jump on a call and start implementing, and things really kind of took off. So I want to say shout out to Tim though. He is such a good guy. And I told him, hey man, like with what we implemented, this is such a good case study to help people. Are you open to it? And he's like, absolutely. I want to help people. We'll blur the store out and everything, obviously, but we wanted to do this for you guys. So you could see, literally just hitting a couple hundred a day. We got on a call on the 30th. So the 30th, he hit $98. And then I had him implement some things. On the 31st, boom, went from 100 a day to 1K a day. Very drastic change. From there, we really kind of ramped things up a bit. You can see November literally scaled from $100 a day to almost like a six-figure month. They're hitting literally, 2K, 6K, 12K day, 7K, yesterday, 9K, right? He's going to be hitting 10K days throughout the month of December. And this is a very good product. I think it's only going to scale harder and the margins are insane. So that's it, guys. I mean, here you can see the trajectory of the store if we get into true profit, because at the end of the day, a lot of people kind of showed numbers, but are they actually running a profitable store? When we get into here, you can see this was literally Black Friday. He did $4,500 in profit in a singular day at a 40% margin. And then if we look over the week of say like the 24th until today, this is, 24th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 30th, and then it's been 2 days. So what, like 9 days, he's done almost $19,000 in profit in 9 days. So 30% profit margin, things are looking really, really, really good. If you just go Monday to Monday, that's in a 7-day window hitting over $14,000 in profit. That's like 2K a day in profit. So he literally went from $100 to $2,000 a day in just profit. At a 30% net margin over the last few days. So guys, not only is this store working, but it is very, 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 very profitable, incredibly profitable. So let's dive into what we did. What did we implement? And let's get into it, right? So Tim scaled, and how did he do that? Now, the first step is really kind of the origin. I just want to get into kind of Tim himself. He lives in Australia. He's a very normal guy. Like e-commerce is not his main job. He has a very solid job. But this was kind of just a thing he's been doing with me for the last like 2 years, I want to say. It's been getting better and better and better. And this was literally a side store that we turned into a cash cow that is going to make him a lot more than he makes at his job. Let's put it that way. So it all started with the product though. So basically what happened, and I'm going to give you guys kind of from the origin and really kind of everything that we implemented to get to scale, right? So let's just start with the origin. And there's a lot of nuggets and keys and tips in here, right? So it all started with the product. So he identified an opportunity. There was visible demand for this product. And he actually found this product on a spy tool. Now, I don't recommend spy tools typically because a lot of people use them. You want to think outside the box and get creative with product research. But what he did is he found a store on a spy tool and they had multiple SKUs or variations of a certain product. So he took that learning and he just sold one of those specific SKUs that he saw potential with or saw, really just potential to do well. So this is the first lesson. There are a lot of ways to skin the cat, you could say. They all work, right? Spy tools, scrolling organic, TikTok, Instagram Reels, etc. Facebook ad library. I like kind of more of the OG style methods and more of these manual style methods like Facebook ad library, scanning Reddit forums to find opportunities or pain points and then finding the product. Calidata, native ad platforms, finding things even that work on Amazon and bringing them over. Guys, there are literally 20 ways to find products. If people tell you you need to use Calidata or you need to use a spy tool, they're probably trying to sell you on their affiliate code with this spy tool, right? It's not the only way you can find products. I guarantee you, and I've seen a lot of stores scale incredibly hard by really just leveraging learnings. Now, this is a first key. Now, what does leveraging learnings mean? Well, if you see something that's working, simply break it down and find out why it's working, right? Leverage learnings. So for example, if I see a product in a specific niche that's working, I don't have to go sell that same exact product. I can sell a better variation or a newer variation of that product, right? So that's it. Leverage learnings. You don't have to rip one for one. Where the magic happens is when you identify an opportunity or something that's working and you simply do it better. You understand why it works, but you also come in with a competitive edge. So this is super, super important. Now, this is simply what Tim did. So we work on other stores together, but he basically just kind of threw this up on the side and then didn't think much of it. And he's like, hey, let's jump on a call for this other store. And when I saw it, I started to kind of see the opportunity here. So this is when step 2 came in. So after running the store for literally 20 plus days, he basically wasn't sure if it was worth pursuing or if he had anything in general. And guys, I will say this is probably one of the number one skills that you can have in ecom that I preach people really try to understand is how do you just simply diagnose constraints? You have to understand how to look into a business. And granted, this comes with experience. I've been doing this for 8 years. But when I looked into his store and I'm looking at the creative metrics, I'm looking at the metrics as far as conversion rate and revenue per visitor and his offer. And, there's 300 different things within this. But when you can diagnose constraints and tackle them one by one, this is really where the magic happens. So we identified the first bottleneck and he was getting sales very inconsistently. So that was kind of one issue. But I did some digging and his unit economics were good, meaning like his margins were good. His creative metrics were good. His cost per click was good. The click-through rate was good. But what happened was post-click, after people clicked on the creative to go to his website, his revenue per visitor was terrible, meaning like the revenue that he extracts from every person that hits his website was not good. So his issue was actually post-creative, like after the click, once they hit the site. His offer was really bad. I didn't set up the offer with him originally because I didn't know about the store, and his revenue per visitor was literally 70 cents. Now, 70 cents is not good, guys. So all I did was I saw this and I said, oh, we need to jump on offer. Everything else, like the buying intent looked good. The add to cart rate was pretty solid and like all the creative metrics looked good. So I knew there was demand for the product, but he wasn't capturing that demand with a really good offer. So that was literally the first implementation. Now, when you can really silence kind of the noise and know where to focus all of your attention to pull the highest lever, this is where the magic happens. Now, it wasn't about product market fit, right? He didn't have a bad product. He actually had a product that a lot of people wanted, and I could see that. But it simply lied in how much he was extracting from each customer on his website. Right? How much do you extract from each customer on your website? This is something people don't really look at it this way. They see a cost per click and they see a conversion rate, but I really like a metric called revenue per visitor or RPV. This is simple. This is literally total revenue divided by total visitors. Now his was literally 70 cents. Guys, this is terrible. Like a 70 cents revenue per visitor is not good. Now, less than $1. This is the first bottleneck, and this was the first thing that we were going to go ahead and tackle. So there's a reason for this. The offer was bad. The structure was bad. By structure, I mean the pricing structure of the offer itself. There was no photos on the bundles. The copy in which he was pitching the offer or translating the offer or why they would need more than one unit was simply not good. And the visual appearance itself was very bad. Like if you download Kaching bundles and you just see kind of like the default when you're picking the bundle you want, it kind of looked like that. Right? So that was the main issue. And then the biggest issue is he wasn't split testing offers. Now I knew this is where we needed to focus. Now we test so many different offers on this store. I was literally testing offers for probably 20 days straight leading up into Black Friday, right? Because we had to find kind of that golden offer. So it all starts with kind of the core offer structure, meaning the structure in which we price the offer itself. Do we run a BOGO? Do we run a buy two, get one free? Do we run a quantity break, meaning when maybe they buy multiple units, the price per unit is dropping or the percentage off per unit is dropping? Or if they buy 2 units, they unlock the first free gift. They buy 3, they unlock 2 free gifts. Guys, this is literally just, I guess, 4 structures right here, but there are so many more offers that people don't run or even think of. And sometimes it's kind of more boring or simple stuff that can work, and sometimes more of the free gift stuff works, right? But at the end of the day, I started by testing the core offer structures themselves, and then we started to get data. From there, we were iterating core offer structures, both in price and visually. So what do I mean by that? For example, say that this offer works. Buy one at, let's just go, I don't know, $49.99, and then say buy one, get one free, also $49.99. Then you have buy two at, what would this be? $99.99, and then buy two, get two free at also say $99.99. Now, this is a very unique offer that I've seen work a good bit because you're anchoring it against worse options. But what I mean when I say iterate, you have the winning structure. So say this is a winning structure, but you can then test even 3 variations of this, meaning you test this at $44.99, right? And then this would come down to whatever, like 89, right? So that's a very unique way. And then maybe you test it again, this same winning offer at say 39. And then this is 39. And then this is what? 79? 79. So now you can imagine when you have 5 core offers and you can create 3 different iterations of each, start thinking about the amount of combinations. And then when we take, say, this is the winner, and then we can change 3 or 4 variations of this one offer by changing the colors, the labels, the copy, maybe the default bundle that's selected first. It really gets interesting, guys. I was literally doing this for about 20 days, just continuing to test and iterate offers. And the revenue per visitor is absolutely insane. I'm going to show you guys. So here's another lesson for everyone. When I typically speak to people that are newer to this space, or even people that are scaling hard, no one's ever testing enough offers. So I test way more offers than most people I talk to. And it's just simple, right? You should never stop testing offers. You could be hitting massive numbers. You should still be iterating and testing offers. Now, granted, there is a right time to test offers. You do not test offers during Black Friday. You do not test offers when Christmas is, maybe you have a 5-day window before people can get their orders for Christmas. You test offers throughout the year, and then you take that winning offer and you really just run with that during that seasonal period. And display that in the product photos, the bundles, the copy, this type of thing, right? But people are never testing enough offers. If you're watching this, chances are you are not testing enough offers. Now, when you do have a winning offer, understand why it works. Break it down and just say, what's different about this offer opposed to another one? Why is it working? Is it working because the price is at $44.99, or is it working because of this BOGO structure? You don't really know, right? So you have to continue to test. Now, obviously, you need to get a bit of visitors on each bundle to be able to kind of test better and quicker, but you can test over time. So leverage these winning offers with seasonal visuals and copy, and they will print, meaning like take your winner, run that winner in these high demand periods. And yeah, it's fun stuff. Now, step 4, how did we go from $100 a day to 1K a day? And literally we went from 100 one day, the next day literally did 1K. Now, I will have to say offer was very, very important. He actually did find a channel as well that was just converting incredibly well, which played a factor. But we didn't really bump ad spend or anything to hit this. We simply just 4 to 5x'd the money that we made for each person hitting the website. That was it. We were making 4 to 5 times more money with each person that hit the site. So our revenue per visitor went from 70 cents to over $4 by getting rid of the offer he had in there and throwing in 4 new ones and then starting to find from there. This is where we started testing. You guys can literally see we went from 98 to 1.1K literally the next day. Now, the vision was clear. There was demand for the product. We just had to work on finding an offer structure that had undeniable value, right? At the end of the day, there's an exchange of value, right? The customer has money and you're providing value through a product. if you can essentially communicate that exchange in the best way possible to where it's a no-brainer for them, that's simply just what having a really good offer is, right? So the margins were insane. The product was great. The economics were even better. And it was all offer. This is one of those videos that is simply about finding the one thing that moved the needle. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I see stores where they need 4 things to click. They need the creative to click. They need the offer to click. They need so many other things to click as well. But in this case, it was focusing on the highest lever at any given time. And this was really the only lever bottleneck that we had to patch and pull, right? So that was it. All offer, continued to split test. You could see when we hit this 1.1K day, it was literally 400 in profit, like 36% margin. So I knew we were about to cook with this store. And I kept my eye on it, like literally daily, making changes. Lesson 3, product market fit, guys, is undeniable. I've seen so many instances of very mediocre landing pages or product pages that convert incredibly well. This is probably the product market fit and just simply the demand or need for the product. I've seen a lot of stores, and I've personally thrown up stores where I'm like, this store is so good. I have so much conviction on this, and it doesn't get the traction that I initially thought it was. Now, I like to, when I'm testing something, I like to diagnose that if it doesn't work, I don't want to be the issue it doesn't work. I don't want it to be because I had a bad offer, a bad product page, a bad, 30 other things. But sometimes it simply happens where product market fit just isn't there. And you want to validate that up front when you test a product in general. You want to have high conviction that it is. But I certainly see instances where it's just, it doesn't respond like you expect. That's part of ecom. Happens to everyone. So simple scales. In this case, this landing page, this website was not super good looking whatsoever. People just simply needed and wanted the product. That's as simple as I can put it, right? I would have done 10,000 things different to this landing page when I first initially looked at it. We made the tweaks on the offer. I saw the conversion rate, and I literally said, I'm not touching the lander. Why would I touch a landing page that has a 15% conversion rate, right? So that's it, right? That's simple. But guys, I do want to say, sometimes product market fit, when things click, they click. And that's one of those instances. So my job was simply to find the best value exchange in the offer and converts at the highest conversion rate with the highest profit per visitor. Now, you guys can see here, like the conversion rate's absolutely insane. This isn't like 1 to 2 purchase sample size. This is thousands of purchases, or over 1,000 purchases at an 11% conversion rate. Not too bad, right? So this is kind of another example of that type of thing. Now, note that I've been talking about highest revenue per visitor today, and highest revenue per visitor isn't always the best thing. Profit per visitor is the best thing, because some offers might have a higher AOV, meaning they have a higher average order value because people are maybe taking 2 units or 3 units more often. But that doesn't mean that offer is the most profitable, because when you're shipping out more orders with 2 units or 3 units, your cost is going to be higher. So you have to find the certain offers that have a really high AOV with a very low average cost of goods. And that's the sweet spot, because that's going to be the most profitable offer with the highest product, or with the best product and unit economics. So I can guarantee there's a lot of guys maybe watching this video that are hitting very solid numbers, and they're probably choosing or currently running offers that they think are the best because they are, high AOV, high revenue per visitor, but they're not understanding and breaking down each offer as far as their gross margin on that particular offer on average, right? So this was a big thing that I worked on. And when we went into Black Friday, we just had a very profitable offer. I mean, we had a 40% net margin on Black Friday. It was insane. And that was like on a 12K day, 38%. So that's it. That's basically what we did. It was just offer testing, guys. I took so many of these iterations. I want to say it probably took me, 15 to 20 iterations to have that core offer that we ended up running. Now, creating a money model. This was huge. So now we start to pick up steam, and we're hitting the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5K days plus. But how do we create a money model? because I knew that Tim had something, but he was leaving a lot of money on the table by not creating a money model. So I'm going to get into really what this is. I have to give props to Hermosi for this. And this is a lot of the stuff that I like to do on this channel, is just be the dumbest person in the room, right? I want to consume knowledge from other people and really just apply what's working for them into my businesses, into my one-on-one clients' businesses, right? But Hermosi essentially is better at creating money models than anyone. With that being said, not a lot of people apply a money model to e-commerce. So that's what we're going to get into. At the end of the day, e-com is simple. We are paying for ads. When we pay for ads, we are buying impressions. And these impressions are typically high intent buyers that come to solve their problem. So they're already in a state in which they're ready to buy stuff to fix their problem. Maybe your hero product that you're selling them fixes their problem, right? But why not create 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 more solutions for them on top of that? So the money model is essentially the engine that turns value through the products that you sell into money. Now, rental cars. How can we explain this simply? Well, here's a great money model. So you see a rental car, right? And it's maybe $35 a day, and you go and book it. Now, this is kind of their top of funnel. This is the hero product that gets you through the door. Now, they acquire the customer with the basic car rental. Now, on top of that, they also will upsell you on insurance and fuel fees and upgrade offers and GPS. And if you're a young driver, you pay a fee there. And if there's a late return, you pay a fee there. They get customers in with the rental, and they make the profit on everything after. This is a money model. Now, people are not doing this in e-com as much as they should. It's that simple. Now, what we did is I helped Tim implement a money model into his business. Now, we do this with in-cart and post-purchase upsells. So we can upsell them on complementary products in cart, and we can also upsell them after they've already bought a product and placed an order with us. We then sell them other products. Now, you're already paying for the customer, so why not extract as much out of the customer as you can? Provide them with more value and other solutions to other problems that they have. They are literally buying stuff on your website. Why would you not? They're clearly in a pain point, or there is some emotion that is driving this sale. So why would you not capitalize on this 5-minute window and period where they're ready to buy stuff? So when upselling, here's the big lesson. A lot of people, they try to upsell complementary products. But what you need to do is you need to position your upsells well by creating a problem first, and then you upsell the solution. So people don't realize they have a problem typically until you present it. Now, here's a skincare example. Acne. So say you're selling an acne wash. This is your hero product. What you can say is most people, or whatever, 30% of people typically have dryness because our acne wash is so potent. Here's our hydrating moisturizer that you use after the wash. And then maybe upsell 2 is like, hey, we understand that you go on vacations and this and that. Sometimes you're going to forget your acne wash, or you're going to forget your moisturizer. It's hard to stay disciplined. So just take this supplement, right? It's easier, it's quicker, you don't have to wash your face. Now you're upselling convenience, right? So in the rental car scenario, instead of just trying to sell them insurance, you basically mention what can happen if they're not insured, right? You're creating the problem first and then giving them the solution. Instead of saying, hey, you might run out of gas, you say, well, if you do run out of gas, it costs you X in a gas penalty or whatever, or a late, another example could be for like, if you're running late to the airport, you may not have time to get gas, right? So when you bring the car back, we can just fill it up for an extra fee, right? That's a better scenario. So create the problem first and then upsell the solution. That's exactly what we did here with Tim. And then the last step in this case was literally to scale. You can see these are the last few days here. Went from floating around like 5K days up to 12K days, and now hovering around 10K days and gonna scale well past 10K days. But the cool thing here is the revenue per visitor. Now we took this from 70 cents to the last 9 days. This has been 5.89. Every single session on our website, every single visitor spends $5.89 on average. Huge bonus from that 70 cent revenue per visitor originally. And now we're just focusing on a few things. So now we're putting, and you always want to do this, obviously, but like the customer first. Start listening to the customers, make their experience better. A lot of people scale, and especially if they're drop shipping, they just scale too quickly and they don't realize there's real customers behind the orders. The product was already good, but we wanted to enhance the experience, doing the custom packaging, having good customer support, so on and so forth. This is just going to help with returning customer rate. You're going to get less chargebacks. So that's a big thing that we got in order. From there, it was capitalizing on seasonal periods with high buying intent. We're going into Christmas. The month of December has just started. And this is a good kind of seasonal product that could be gifted. So when we're in early December, we are capitalizing on early December in the positioning opportunity, meaning in early December, we have an opportunity to say, if you order it now, you'll get it by Christmas. This pushes urgency. We can have a Christmas sale in the product photos. We can write that we have a Christmas sale in the bundles and the offers. And guys, we're tweaking this like every few days accordingly based on seasonal periods and where we're at. If we were in Halloween, we would have everything changed around that Halloween season. So this is a very, very important thing. And this allows us to boost our revenue per visitor, right, as well. The offer just converts better when it feels seasonal and there's urgency behind it. The countdown timers are being adjusted all the time, so on and so forth. Now, as I mentioned, product market fit is there. We don't have to do too much. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's literally just crafting offers and making this product appealing to buy, which they already want it in general. So it's translating that value and how it's actually going to save their life. You know, we know they're going to buy it, but why would they buy it from us opposed to the competitor? That's what we've implemented, right? And over the next 60 days, continuing to test offers. You should always be testing offers. You could be doing $50,000 days. You should always be testing offers. And then along with this, we're focused on the customers that we have and leveraging their feedback to not only improve the product, but also create more SKUs. I've got some ideas that can definitely help. And then last thing, guys, is really shout out to Tim. At the end of the day, I'm helping him. I'm consulting him. I'm helping him implement, but this is his store. He's such a good guy, and he really wanted to share these learnings and lessons or give me the ability to just put this kind of study out on YouTube and really help people and inspire them and show them what's possible. So thank God for Tim, man. What an amazing guy. And yeah, that's really it. Now, I guess last thing is if you want to work with me like Tim does, I do help people one-on-one. So Tim is one of those clients. I mean, as you can see, like I'm in my clients' stores all the time. I don't have a community. I don't have a course. Like I work with people one-on-one and very few of them. And because of that, I'm jumping on Zoom calls with them. I'm in their stores. I'm implementing with them and for them and explaining why I'm doing these things. So it's a very tailored like one-on-one approach. If you apply in the link below, I will personally text you. I'll jump on a call with you. I don't have coaches or sales guys or like any of these VSLs or funnels or these things. Like it's just me and I text you. And if that's what you want, then let's do it. So hopefully you guys got some value from this today. Have just an amazing rest of the year. Happy holidays to everyone. Hopefully you got some value from this video. If you did, just drop a comment, drop a like, drop questions. Happy to help out, guys. And yeah, that's it.